Hey guys, it's Blade again from Cardio Security. We've got a new stereo review for you today, the brand new Pioneer SPH-EVO64DAB. Right guys, so what do we have here? The SPH-EVO64DAB. Now this is a brand new unit from Pioneer. Gives you wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, HDMI input, Bluetooth streaming, hands-free calls, and DAB radio. So it's a very, very good spec unit, especially for the price. So I'm going to open it all up for you as usual, show you all the contents, build it all up. Now this unit does take a little bit of fettling to make it work, in terms of you do have to build it. I'll explain that in a second, you'll understand what I mean. But yeah, we'll open it all up, we'll go through it and go from there. Okay, so here we have it laid out. Now, as you could see from the start, it's quite a big box, there's quite a lot involved. So I'm going to go through it, explain everything to you, but as you can see straight off the bat, we have a screen and we have a separate body. It's a little bit unusual for an aftermarket setup, so you do have to kind of build it together, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But the other accessories you do get with it, you have the main harness, same as usual, plug for the back of the stereo, and then ISO connection for the adapter for your vehicle. Instruction manual, we have the side brackets, we have your pre-outs, camera and output connections, the GPS antenna, we have a USB-C to USB adapter, we have a microphone, and then we have all the screws for the brackets. So I'm going to show you how to put the stereo to the body. Now obviously this does make it a singled in body, doubled in face, so it will fit into a doubled in location. And I will also show you there is a separate kit which you can purchase to make it a floating screen, if you need to do that, but we'll go from there. Let me show you how this all goes together. So essentially it's just a bracketry system. It's the way it goes is a little bit confusing. So obviously you have the screen itself. Now these brackets here, you have a left and a right. Unfortunately I don't think they are labelled as left and right, but you will get the idea of how it goes together. So essentially you have these little nubs here either side, and then two screw holes. So they would join to these little nubs and two little screw holes here. Essentially that's going to drop in there like that. Just make sure that you know it's the right way around, because this is flush with the side of the screen. So essentially that comes flush. If you've got it the wrong way around, like that, obviously your screw holes ain't going to line up and it's going to be the wrong way around. So that way around, screw those in. So I'll do that quickly, obviously both sides. In terms of screws, what you need to use, there's multiple screws in that one pack. You use the smallest ones that come in it. They are very small. They're just the threaded screw with a flat head. So they're the ones that work. Got my trusty screwdriver. Obviously what you don't want to do is cross thread them. So just make sure they go in nice and freely. There's no resistance in there. If you cross thread them, you're going to struggle to get that screw in. Okay, now we have the bracket screwed to the face. We can then screw it to the body. So how this would work is you have the same little nubs at the bottom of these brackets, which will correlate to the nubs on the top of the singled in body. So essentially you just drop it on there, they will locate nicely, and then screw that to that. Now the reason why you do the face first, before the body, is as you can see once it's in, there's two little screws down the bottom there which you won't be able to screw in, so you need to screw the face in first and then the body. You'll thank me later for that. Same screws go into the body as they were the face. So we have the face fixed to the body. Now the only last thing you have to do is we need to connect the ribbon from the body to the screen so that it all works together. So essentially all you need to do is obviously detach this twisty jiggy here. And then this just clips on like so. Done. So that just clips on to there. Then your unit is ready to go. So, only other thing you'd need, power connection, as I showed before, plugged to the back of the unit, and then plugged into your ISO harness, adapted for your vehicle or directly into the car. I do have a power pack here, so I'm just going to power it on for you now. Back in 2 seconds. Okay guys, so we're ready to power on. Now before I do that, I thought I'd just mention, in terms of the screen when it's off, it is just a black screen. It's nice and discreet, you can't even really tell, especially when it's fitted in somewhere, you wouldn't be able to tell it's an aftermarket stereo fitted, so it's not going to attract any prying eyes, if you know what I mean. So that's pretty handy. Now I'm going to power it on for you. Power up time is pretty quick on these. Pioneer stereos can be renowned for taking quite a while to turn on, so I'll show you this. So we have power now. So it's going to have the loading sign. And we are on. So that's pretty quick, say maybe 5-6 seconds. Now, like I said, once it's now powered on, you do have the touchpads down the side, which do light up, they illuminate white. So it is a 6.8-inch capacitive touchscreen. So capacitive meaning it's very touch responsive, very much like a mobile phone. So your swipe resistance and stuff like that, it's quite good. So I'm going to come around and I'm going to show you all the features now. Okay, so let's go through the features very quickly. So this is your main home screen that you will come to. Like the previous video we did on the Alpine unit, this has an adjustable widget system on the home page. So you can press and hold this and you can change it to phone. You can put the phone there if you want that, or now playing, or the weather system, whatever you need. Again, you can change this page as well, so that's nice to have. Now down here you have your main connections, which is going to be your connectivity, so your CarPlay, Android Auto, that kind of thing. You also have Alexa on this unit, which you need to pair to an Alexa system. Your digital radio connection, normal FM radio connection, your Bluetooth audio and Bluetooth phone. So as a home page, that's pretty much it. Now when you swipe up from the bottom, you have your favorites, which you can set your favorite widgets and apps. And then when you swipe down, you have your suggested stations, so you can quickly go into there. So that's good. Now, when you swipe over from the left, you have all of your connections. So this is quite, obviously everything's in there. You have all of your different apps, camera connections, your display, your dimmer, your settings. So obviously settings, you're going to have your normal Pioneer settings. If you're familiar with a Pioneer unit, this is the same as they've always been. You have Wi-Fi connections, that's to do your wireless CarPlay, and then your Bluetooth and all that kind of thing. You can swipe over to the left and you have your power off, so you can physically turn the unit off. So that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to show you how to connect your phone to wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. We'll start off with wireless Android Auto and we'll go from there. Right guys, so I'm going to show you how to connect to wireless Android Auto. So as you can see, nothing plugged into the phone, unit is as it was beforehand. So if we click on connectivity on the unit, it's going to ask us to pair Bluetooth to the device. So if we do that, obviously on the mobile device, swipe down, if you press and hold Bluetooth, it's going to come into your settings. Now I have 10,000 things connected to Bluetooth working in this place, but if we swipe all the way down, you should find a unit. There we go, SPH-EVO64DAB. We'll click on that. So we want to pair, yes and yes. And we want to allow contact, yep. Okay, so we are now connected. So to enable Android Auto, it's going to ask us to connect via Wi-Fi. Essentially, if you swipe down, go to Wi-Fi, there you go, it's going to automatically connect. There we have it, wireless Android Auto. So if we go back into home, again, same as it always is. You have all your connections, WhatsApp, Spotify, Waze, normal maps, pretty much anything you'd need to do there. So that's wireless Android Auto. Okay guys, so I'm going to quickly show you how to connect via wireless Apple CarPlay. Now it's a bit more simple than the Android Auto, but essentially all you do is go into Settings, go to General, go to CarPlay, and then you just wait and it should bring up the unit. There we go, SPH-EVO64DAB, click on there. You want to pair to the device, click yes on there, and allow your contact to sync, allow. It's going to pair up, give it a second to turn on. There we go. So you're in Apple CarPlay mode now. So it's, again, same as every other CarPlay unit. You have your maps, your phone book, your messages, Spotify, Waze, whatever you need. So a bit more simple than the Android Auto, but there we go. Okay guys, so we've turned the unit around for you just to show you the connections on the back. Now, starting from the left-hand side, we have a GPS antenna connection, which comes in the box. Just plug it in there, attach it to the top of the unit. We have a wheel remote input, which is for steering wheel controls. Now, if you're using an adapter to retain your steering controls from factory in the vehicle, that's where the patch lead would plug into. Now, up the top here, you have a mic input. You have a canvas interface adapter, which you shouldn't really need to use on most vehicles. Now, over here, this is your USB connection. This is a USB-C. Now, in the box, you do get a small USB-C to female USB adapter. So then you can plug in your phone for use of CarPlay if you want to plug it in, or just to charge the phone. Now down here, this yellow connection is if you'd like to purchase the Pioneer navigation add-on, that would plug in there. This is your main power connection with a 10 amp fuse next to it. Now over this side, this small connection over here, if you can just about see it, this is actually your HDMI. Now this is a micro HDMI connection. So if you'd like to run a Amazon Fire Stick or something like that into the vehicle, you can do, but you'd need to purchase a micro HDMI to HDMI adapter. So just bear that in mind. This long loop here is for your FM and AM aerial connection, which is a female DIN plug. This gold connection here is for your DAB. And then this connection down the bottom is for your RCA output connections, which comes in the box, which I've already showed you. Only other thing is this long lead here, which goes to the back of the screen. That is the ribbon, which allows the body of the stereo to communicate with the screen, and it all works seamlessly. Okay, now one last thing I thought I'd mention. You nearly got rid of me, but there's one last thing. Now, the reason why this unit comes as a separate screen to body and you have to build it is because you can fit it in multiple different ways. There's actually 3 ways that you can fit this unit. Now, first way is the simple way that I've done it, which will fit into most vehicles, to be honest. This allows it to be a double DIN size and cage size. So essentially, the next 2 ways you can do it, you do have to purchase separate parts for it. So the second way is you can actually have it as a floating screen. Now you have to purchase what's called the Uni Kit for this unit. If you'd like to do that, just give us a call and we can go through it with you. But essentially it allows you to float the screen. So what I mean by that is you can have the body of the unit inset and the screen outset. So it's floating rather than flush with the dash, if you know what I mean. So that's that way. The other way is you can purchase an extended ribbon, as it's called. So the join from the body to the screen. And allow the screen to be fitted flush as normal, but the body to be fitted elsewhere. So it is a multi-applicable unit, so you can put it into pretty much any vehicle you need to. So that's quite nice. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it from me. That was the overview of the Pioneer SPH-EVO64DAB. Now, very, very good unit, especially for the price point. I mean, this unit is wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, HDMI input, Alexa, Bluetooth, DAB, everything you'd need from a unit. This is currently on our website at $599.99, which makes it the cheapest wireless CarPlay Android Auto unit we currently have in stock. So definitely check that out. It's on our website at carradiosecurity.com and our sister company, The Tuning Store. Now, one other thing to mention, as I've said, the unit is fitted in 3 different ways. The way I fitted it today is a doubled-in unit out of the box, the floating screen design, and the separate screen to body design. Now, the other 2 ways, if you'd like to fit them like that, make sure you call us up before you do purchase it, because there will be additional parts you'd need. So we will direct you through that. Now, other than that, that's it. That's the video done. We have got this available on our website currently in stock, so make sure you check it out. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.